Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss about another important topic in the revision plan, that is asexual reproduction. So, what is asexual reproduction and what are the reproduction processes in the single cell organisms? That one we will be discuss. So, living organisms reproduce in two ways: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction means what? Asexual reproduction involves the production of an offspring from a single parent, so not male and female, only one, without the fusion of gametes. No male gamete, no sperm, no eggs. So, such kind of reproduction is called asexual reproduction. Where we can see this kind of asexual reproduction mostly occurs in unicellular organisms like bacteria, protozoa, like that. So, multicellular animals like sponges and hydra also, they will see, they will perform this asexual reproduction. So, young one receives all its genes from the one parent only. Whatever the parent characters are there, as it is, characters will be there in the newly formed offsprings. So, what are the futures? Only one organism is involved. All the cells performs which one? Mitotic or amitotic. So all new individuals are genetically identical. Rapid mode of very fast multiplication will be takes place, no gametes. So types of reproduction, if you see, you know very well, splitting of an unicellular organisms into, we are discussing about fission. Splitting of an unicellular organism into two or more than two separate daughter cells. Two or more than two separate daughter cells. This type of reproduction is called, this type of reproduction is common in unicellular organisms. What is called? Splitting of an, very important this one, splitting of an unicellular organism into two or more than two separate daughter cells is called fission. This type of reproduction common in unicellular organisms like amoeba, paramecium, euglena. So two types of fissions, binary fissions and multiple fission. So parent cell into two small. Okay, this is a division. Binary fission means parent cell will divide into two small, nearly equal sized identical two daughter cells. Is called binary fission. Two equal size is called binary fission. First nucleus will be divided, followed by the division of cytoplasm into two daughter cells. Okay, so these two daughter cells are same as it is, and again they will be divided or fission will be. So only this binary fission occurs in favorable conditions. Okay, morphologically the newly formed one I said or not, morphologically, genetically, okay, similar. Where we can see this kind of example, binary fission, amoeba and yeast. Come to another important one, multiple fission. So it's another type of fission in which many individuals are formed. See, one cyst cell to how many? Many individuals are formed from a single parent. Cyst is called multiple fission. This method of reproduction occurs in unfavorable conditions. It is favorable conditions. This is unfavorable conditions. Which one? Multiple fission. So protecting covering called, you know very well, cyst over the cell. The nucleus of cell divide rapidly, repeatedly, many nuclei. Later on, each nucleus surrounded by small amount of cytoplasm, and many daughter cells are produced within cyst daughter cells. So favorable conditions are there. This cyst will be break, and so many what you called new individuals, new daughter cells will be formed. This type of reproduction is called what you called multiple fission. What you call that is called multiple fission. So next, another important one, fragmentation. What you call? Fragmentation. Some multicellular organisms, okay, having simple body organization, they reproduce. How they can reproduce? Simple body organization reproduce, okay, by breaking of their bodies into small pieces. Then each piece will be called as a fragment. So this kind of mode of reproduction is called fragmentation. Spirography, one multi-individual broken into two halves. See here. So this is called spirogara. So this kind of reproduction is called fragmentation. Fragmentation is a method of reproduction in many filamentous algae, mycelial fungi, where we can see fragmentation, algae, fungi. Okay, so mainly in bryophytes. So where we can see fungi and algae. This is important. Next, regeneration. What is the meaning of regeneration? This is also very useful, very important. Many fully differentiated organisms able to give rise to new individual organisms from their body parts. Animals like which one? Hydra and planaria. So regeneration is carried out by specialized cells. These cells proliferate and make large number of cells from this mass of cells. Okay, so which become various types of tissues. Okay, very very important. So development, however, regeneration is not the same as reproduction, since most organisms would not normally depend on being cut. Okay, this is not a reproduction, just a development. That's it. What will happen? Organisms have the ability to give rise to new individual organisms from their body parts. So that's called regeneration. So this is a development. Nothing but this is called development. The cells proliferate and make, say which one is cutted, that particular area cells, mass of cells, and perform different functions. That's only called regeneration. Budding. Do you understand what is the ability of organisms have to give rise to new individual organisms from their body parts? Example, planaria. Next, budding. What is the meaning of budding? Budding may be defined as the, how can you define the budding? It's a production of new individual from an outgrowth of the parent individual. So you know very well yeast budding. Budding occurs in yeast, some protozoan, you know very well yeast and hydra. So in multicellular animals such as hydra, a small protuberance arises from one side of the body, you know very well. Then protuberance grows and develops adult-like structure. Then trypostomes, tentacles, then basal disc, all will be formed after detached from the parent. You know very well that kind of reproduction is called budding. And okay, there is a budding in the yeast and hydra. Hydra and yeast performs this budding. So next we will be see another important concept, that is sexual reproduction in the humans. What is the sexual reproduction? First of all, we have to know about this. So sexual reproduction means what? Offsprings. You can produce offsprings by the fusion of male and female gametes to form a diploid zygote which develops into mature organism. Which one? Mature organism. So male and female gametes, sperms and egg will be combined. Fertilization process will be takes place. Zygote develop into embryo, fetus. Like that, it will be developing new individual, in the sense that kind of reproduction is called sexual reproduction. DNA copying, DNA is must and should. Variations are more in this sexual reproduction. So these all are very very simple. So especially if you see the human sexual reproduction, we will see first dimorphism. Human beings are unisexual. You know, male is separate, female separate. Sexual dimorphism, male and females are separate. That's why it's called sexual dimorphism. So male female characters, secondary sexual characters are different, and the male features are different. So male reproductive system and female reproductive system developed in the humans. So Primary sex organs in the male are gonads, you know very well, testes, and the female have the ovaries. They will produce the gametes and hormones also. So hormones, you know very well, chemicals which are helpful for the development of secondary sexual characters in the both in the males and females. Okay, and the puberty, the age where the production of gametes will be start. Male gamete, egg, sperms, female gamete, egg will be start the production. That particular age from the time onwards we will be called when we will see secondary sexual characters development. That particular age is called puberty. What do you call that age is called? Puberty. So in this concept, what are the nearly 11 to 12 years, okay, 13 to 14 years, we will see the puberty. We will discuss about male reproductive system and female reproductive system. So what are the in the human male reproductive system consists of testes. What are the testes? You know very well. The human male possesses two testes. Okay, primarily reproductive lying outside the abdominal cavity. The two testes male gonads. Okay, they produce the gametes, sperms, you know very well, and male sex organ, what you call testosterone. And they have what you vas afferentia, vas differentia, epididymis, tubular part also there. Okay, like that. Next, epididymis. So tubes, coiled tube called epididymis, which is present in the testis. Okay, that is the very important. Inner side of each testis lies a mass of coiled tubules. That mass of coiled tubules called epididymis. Then the scrotum is a pouch. Scrotum is a pouch or skin that hangs between the legs. It is divided internally into right and left scrotal sacs by a muscular partition. Okay, two testes lie respective scrotal sacs. So they are scrotum thermoregulators. So compare with the body temperature, 1 to 3 degrees centigrade will be less. Then vas difference. What is vas difference? The vas difference is about 40 centimeters long. So it is, they have the connected to which carries a sperm to seminal vesicles. Okay, the sperms are stored in the vas difference. Then they will be this vas difference along with the seminal vesicles open into the ejaculatory duct. Last one is urethra. Urethra is the tube-like structure, 20 centimeters. They have the urinary bladder to contain, carry urine. So it runs through the penis, okay, and opens outside through the male genital pore. So the urethra carries urine from the bladder as well as sperms from the vas difference. So urethra carries the urine and also sperms through the penis. Next, penis is the long and thick muscular organ made up of mostly erectile tissue. At the time of sexual excitement, the erectile tissue gets filled with blood, causing the penis to become erect. So this is very important. When the blood is filled, it will be erect. So you know sperms will be released through this only. The sperms have acrosome and tail. Such kind of parts also will be there in this male reproductive system, especially male gametes. Next, reproductive glands. What are the reproductive glands? Seminal vesicles, prostate glands, Cowper's glands will be there. The function of seminal vesicle is to store sperms to produce the what you call viscous fluid, which stimulates the uterine contraction to help the sperm move toward into the phallus. So the seminal vesicle secretion helpful for the movement of sperms in the phallus in the female reproductive tract. At the same time, prostate gland also secretion in the urethra secretes the milky fluid which helps in the mobility of the sperm. So prostate gland secretes the milky fluids which helpful for the secretion of which helpful for the movement of sperms. Next, Cowper's glands, also called bulbourethral glands. So small glands. These glands secretes the alkaline fluid. Which one? The Cowper's glands are small bulbourethral glands secretes alkaline fluids. This neutralize the acid. Then in the female reproductive tract, acid neutralized by this secretion of this what we called semens consists of this alkaline fluid. Then sperms can survive. Next, come to female reproductive system. The female reproductive system consists of what is called ovaries, estrogen, progesterone. So what are the ovaries? Mainly very important thing. Female contains two almond shaped what is called ovaries located in the lower part of abdominal cavity. Lower part of abdominal cavity near kidneys it will be present. Each ovary is connected to the uterus by ligaments. Ligaments connects the uterus and the ovaries. The ovaries are primary sex organs. They secrete the hormones. Very very important. They produce a female gamete, egg, and estrogen and progesterone. So there will be the fallopian tubes are there. Very very important. The fallopian tubes. Okay, most important for the fertilization point of view and passage of eggs. The formation of ova begins with the fetus even birth only. Birth time only it will. Later it will be what will happen? 2 to 3 lakhs immature eggs. One mature ovum is released from either of the ovary. Interval of every 28 days, one mature egg will be released. This process is called, very well, ovulation. Next, fallopian tubes. So, fallopian tubes consist of three parts. You know very well. What are those fallopian tubes? The fallopian tubes are three: ampulla, isthmus, infundibulum. So, these are how the fimbriae to collect the egg from the ovaries. Then these fallopian tubes are also called oviducts. So very very important. So finger-like projections called fimbriae will be there in the fallopian tubes. Next vagina. It's a tube with about 7 to 10 centimeters length. During intercourse, penis is inserted into the vagina for discharge of sperms. Okay, it's nothing but what? Birth canal. We call that is birth canal. Next come to fertilization. The male and female gametes togetherly forms the fertilization. Then what will be formed after fertilization? You know very well. Of the sperm enters into the egg, the nucleus of sperm and ovums completion of a join together and fertilization will be takes place. So single cell zygote, 2n condition, zygote undergo repeated mitotic divisions. Okay, repeated mitotic divisions and zygote to form embryo. So 4 to 5 days the embryo descends into uterus and implanted in the wall of uterus. So after 4 to 5 days the zygote will be converted into embryo. Then this will be attached to the wall of uterus, that is called implantation. Then the mother form a structure called uterine wall of the mother form a one structure. What do you call that structure? A placenta. It's a physiological connection between embryo and uterine wall, through which mother will send which one? Nutrients and other useful substances into the fetus from mother's blood, and waste products like urea and carbon dioxide are expelled into what is called through this umbilical cord only. So this placenta. So complete gestation period will be there. So nearly 28 to 280 days. Okay, that is called gestation period. So at the time parturition, one hormone, very well, oxytocin, very helpful for the expelling of the fetus, like that. Some changes will be there. So then the menstrual flow, we know menstrual cycle is there. So the female sexual cycle begins with the time puberty. So that is, menstrual flow will be there, endometrium rupturing will be there. There are 3-4 phases: menstrual phase, proliferative phase, ovulatory phase, secretory phase, like that it will be there. Ovulation phase will be release the eggs. But in the menstrual cycle, what are the hormones? Estrogen, progesterone, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone are the very important for the performing the menstrual cycle. So like this, very important points in the revision. These reproduction related points are very important to gain the good marks in the exam. So mitotic division only in asexual reproduction. Binary fission, amoeba yeast. Multiple fission, what do you call? So many daughter cells, the cyst like plasmodium. Fragmentation, spirogyra. Regeneration, hydra planaria. Budding, hydra and yeast. So these are related to male and female reproductive systems.